What's going on, guys? So making this video with the shirt on, it's freezing outside. It's like 32. All right, if you live in like Utah, Wisconsin, Montana, I know it's like -3, -4. So I know I'm complaining. It's Florida, but this is cold for me. Anyways, listen, a couple things I want to speak about today. One of them being is like every day that you decide to do something is going to determine who you are. To develop who you are it's a matter of choices. I was just hitting the gym. I was doing some legs, and I was just there, and I'm like, this is what makes me who I am. Like, I haven't had a day off from working out in a minute, but I'm just coming in here and doing what needs to get done. I'm working on that discipline. And sometimes in your life, you might not be seeing the reaping of the rewards that you want. But you got to understand, you can never go wrong being disciplined. So we're in a day and age where we're constantly comparing ourselves of where we are to where somebody else is at, right? And again, that could be a big mistake. And ultimately, what I really want to talk with this video is every day we have a choice. We have an opportunity, and it's today. And I was driving to the gym. I was thinking about like my mother. I was thinking about my mother. I was praying earlier today. I was thinking about her because she's the one that motivates me. She's the one that she inspires me because she does a lot. She does a lot, and I realized that when you have a goal, if you don't have something bigger than yourself that's holding you to that goal, or somebody else, then it's gonna be easy to give up, because we will do more for others than we will for ourselves. So if I'll kill for this dog. All right, I'll kill for this dog. This is my boy. And so understand that if you want to find a lot of motivation, you have to attach your goal to something bigger than just yourself. I remember vividly, I drove to California. I talked about the story. I drove to California when I was 20 years old by myself. Drove to California from Florida, and I survived out there for like 3-4 months before I went flat broke. When I went flat broke, I came back and I moved into my boy in Jacksonville. And that time in my life, I was down on myself, because I'm like, dude, I have no job, I have no car, I have no money. All I have is the gym in my body. And I'll never forget, there was a day where I was doing legs, very, very difficult, very, very hard. And I was doing these front squats. And you want to know what separates the men from the boys? Front squats. And so I was doing these front squats, and it was a hard set. And I remember sitting down on the bench looking at it, and I just started crying. I was just like, Mom, I swear to God, I promise you I'm going to be very successful one day. I promise you I'm going to be very successful. And it was just a heartfelt moment, because I was giving these squats everything I had. I was giving them everything I had. And I felt low, man. I felt low. I felt like life was really knocking me down. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I have no idea. All I know is I'm hitting these sets, I'm doing these workouts, and I know somehow, some way I'm going to be successful. It's just a matter of time. And so that was me when I was 21. I'm 29 now. It was 8 years ago. And so understand that if you might be going through a time where you're lacking that motivation, you're not sure what to do, find that emotional motivator. Why are you doing this? And that's been a big thing recently. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you want to put on muscle? Why do you want to put on? And it could be as simple as you want to find a girl. You want to be impressive. You want to be able to be confident enough to go up to a girl and talk to her. Funny enough, I was just at the gym right now, and I'm squatting, and there's this girl on the other side, and I really don't go up to people at the gym, just kind of out of respect. And there's this girl on the squat rack, and she's doing some deadlifts, and good looking girl. And something in me told me, yo, go up to her and tell her that she's doing great. Like, she's doing great, like in all aspects of life, not just workouts. And at one point I was like a little nervous. I'm like, I don't want to go up there and say that. But I'm like, no, it was my gut. It was my internal feeling. It was telling me, go and say something. It goes, just go tell her that it's nothing bad. You're not hitting on her. You're just telling her she's doing great. And so she gets done with her set. I go over to her. I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know that you're doing great. You're doing great. And not just in lifting. Like, you're doing great in life. She's like, oh my God, thank you so much. She almost like started crying. Of course. She smiled, I fist bumped her, and I just went on my way. And a part of me had a little fear, like, oh, I don't want to go to like any guy, any guy happens to you and I. But I'm like, now I have to go. Now I have to go because, recently there's like a quote and it said like, it's like, what would you do if you weren't afraid? What would you do if you weren't afraid? And that quote sat in my head. I'm like, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? I'd go up to her and tell her exactly what I want to tell her. And that's what I did. And I grew. You see, when you have these internal feelings of what you should do and you go and do them, you're going to grow. You're going to grow. You have an internal compass. And it's just fear, this baloney, this bullshit in front of you that doesn't exist. Like in my head, I'm like, what was she going to say or something like that? And she loved it. She was so happy. And later on, she like worked out next to me. She's like, can I work out here? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I made her day. It was like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I just told her and she was like happy. And so you realize that, man, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Attach that emotion to your goals. What's it look like? For me, one of my goals is to travel, to go to Europe. And like, what emotion do I have with that is meeting new people, meeting new experiences, and like maybe meeting a girl that likes the same music that I like, maybe likes to work out as much as I do. So look, here's the truth. As men, we are always looking for a good woman. We're always looking for a partner to share our lives with. I'll admit it. That's one of the most beautiful things in life, to find a girl, to have a girlfriend, to have a wife, to have somebody that you can do life with. You got your boys and your boys are fucking awesome. But then you have that special connection with this woman that you love, that you're willing to defend, that you're willing to provide. And maybe you haven't had the best experiences with women. Maybe you haven't. And I truly would say to look within yourself, because you attract who you are. If you don't have good character, you want to attract the best women, And sometimes you might be down bad. I have one of my friends who met a great woman, beautiful woman. And I'm like, bro, when did you meet her? When you're doing good? I'm like, bro, I met her when I was at my lowest in life, and she just helped me out. And so there's going to be women in life that will help you out in certain times, But understand that everything we do in life as a man, it's building your character so you can show up as the man. So find those emotional attachments and attach that go to an emotion. It can be your future partner. There's times where I sit here and I think about me and my partner dancing on the dance floor of a techno festival, going to eat some coffee, grabbing some biscuits, maybe not some biscuits, but some eggs. And maybe it's to me, like this morning, it was my mom, being able to fly her to Chicago. Hey, we're going to go to Chicago. I'll pay for the tickets. Or we're going to fly to New York, go to one of the skyscrapers and like have a good dinner. Like, let me show you this. Let me take you to California, Mom. So I start envisioning myself like taking my mom to different places, because she's the one that supported me when I was doing bodybuilding. She supports me now with my business. Like, she's like, you're doing great. Keep going. Like, so you don't forget to give back to those who support you, and those that don't support you, understand that that's part of life as well. You can't have one without the other. So understand that your emotional motivators are way more important than just some random goal. Oh, I want to make so much money, or I want to get jacked. Okay, why do you want to get jacked? Because I want to fucking be able to look good next to my girlfriend. I want to be able to have the confidence to go up to a girl and ask her on a date. I want to be able to like just take my shirt off and be like, yeah, this is me, and be proud of myself. So emotional motivators, my friends. God